Hello there, great citizens. It's me, Mr. Incredible. You see, I've been waiting months for this to come. Well, a few months now. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm definitely taking this mask off. It is too itchy. But I've been waiting for this month to come for, well, a few months now. Mainly because there's just so much good spooky Halloween movies and TV shows to cover. But for this one, I'm going to be ranking some of my favorite Halloween movies. So let's go over the list and which ones I'm going to be ranking. Monster House, Halloweentown movies. So that includes Halloweentown, Halloweentown 2, and Halloweentown High. Then I'm going to be talking about Beetlejuice, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Hocus Pocus, A Haunted Mansion, The Little Vampire, Scooby-Doo, Coraline, Edward Scissorhands, and Mom's Got a Date with the Vampire. Got it? Makes sense? Awesome. And I can already hear you in the comments saying, but you forgot so-and-so, or you didn't mention blah, blah, blah. I know, but this is my list of movies. These are the movies that I picked. These are the movies that I'm going with. Okay? Alright, first movie, Monster House. DJ, a 12-year-old boy, notices strange things happening at his quaker neighbor's house. He dies like 5 minutes into the movie. Toys start disappearing. People are getting swallowed by the property. With his best friend Chowder and new friend Ginny, he discovers the terrifying truth that the house itself is alive, possessed by the spirit of Nevercracker's late wife, Constance. On Halloween night, the kids must face the monster head-on and destroy it before it devours more victims. So, let's talk about the movie. This movie's animation has this weird, uncanny valley feeling because it's not stop motion, it's motion capture. So all the animation is just way too smooth. Like, it wasn't frame by frame, man. It's way too smooth. The characters look too smooth. Their heads are kind of big. It does add to the creepy factor. I'll tell you that much. I remember this movie being funny, but also just a little bit scary. Not too scary. It's an okay movie. It gets the job done. It's not as iconic, but most people go, hey, you remember that Monster House movie? Yeah, I kind of remember that movie a little bit. So where do I put this on my tier list? Not D tier, not C tier, but I kind of want to put Monster House on D tier. I'm sorry, it's gotta go D tier. That's my final decision. Okay, so now let's rank Halloweentown. Marnie Piper, a 13-year-old girl, discovers her family's magical heritage after eavesdropping on her grandmother Aggie Cromwell. When Aggie returns home to the mystical Halloweentown, Marnie and her siblings secret follow her and find themselves in a world filled with witches, goblins, and quirky creatures, but the town is in danger from an evil force, of course, and Marnie must embrace her witch powers to help save it. So one thing I like about this movie is it separates the idea that look at me, what do I sound like? It separates the idea that Halloween has to be evil. Just because it's creepy, it doesn't mean it has to be evil. They create villains, like just because they're goblins doesn't mean they're bad people. It's a classic Disney movie. It is a classic Disney Halloween movie. So that already makes it like minimum C tier. It spun off many sequels. We have Halloweentown 2, Halloweentown High, and Return to Halloweentown, which is like the college one. I think I probably remember Halloweentown 1 the most out of all of them. It's the first one, and it kind of scared me a little bit. It was more creepy for kids than scary, if that makes sense. There's definitely a difference. So where do I put this one? I want to say B tier. I feel like people are going to be mad if I don't say A tier, but you know, I'm going to say A tier. Halloweentown gets an A tier. Let's rank Halloweentown 2, Calabar's Revenge. Y'all are going to hate me on this. A year after the first movie, Marnie must face Calabar's vengeful son, Cal, who plans to merge the human and magical worlds by casting the Gray spell, turning Halloweentown's colorful citizens into dreary, lifeless versions of themselves. Marnie, her siblings, and Aggie must travel back and forth between worlds to stop him before both Halloweentown and Earth are destroyed, right? So we raised the stakes hugely on this movie. The stakes have never been higher. It is definitely a bit scarier than the first. Everyone's a little bit older. I like seeing the progression of that, but I will be real, I don't remember this movie as much, and y'all might be mad at me. This one does not feel as iconic to me. I don't know. I just don't remember it as much. Maybe that says more about me than it does the movie. I mean, I don't know. I might have to watch a trailer to get a refresher. Many fans consider this one to actually be the peak of the Halloweentown series, but I consider the peak to be Halloweentown High. That was my favorite one. So for this one, I understand y'all like it a lot, but for me, I gotta give it C tier. I'm so sorry. Maybe between C and B. I'll give it between C and B, but definitely it's a C tier for me. Sorry. Now we're getting into business. Halloweentown High, Marnie proposes an exchange program where students from Halloweentown attend her human high school in hopes of bridging the gap between worlds, but not everyone supports this idea. The Knights of the Iron Dagger, an ancient group opposed to magic, resurfaces to threaten the program. Marnie has to juggle teenage high school drama and magical stakes, all while trying to prove that humans and monsters can live together peacefully. This one is my favorite of the Halloweentown movies. It is the one I remember second to most. I think is the most iconic to me in my head. Once again, this is all subjective. This is my list. You make your own tier list and you can rank your own movies. Let me know in the comments, whatever. Let me know based off the movies that I have on my list, where would you put them on your list? Let's do it that way. The first one was iconic, but I definitely like this one the most. Once again, the charm of it is still there. Them being in high school, I don't know, it had a little bit of relatable factor of them like being weird and kind of standing out. I thought that was pretty cool. Most people will rank this one lower than the first two, but not me. This one is straight A tier for me. This one is A tier. If I could, I'd put this one slightly above the original Halloweentown. Now, it could be the nostalgia goggles talking, but this one is definitely a favorite of mine. So we're done with the Halloweentowns and we got a few rankings out the way. Y'all can hate me in the comments, whatever, but let's talk about what I think we all can agree is a classic. It's The Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. So the Peanuts gang celebrates Halloween with trick-or-treating, costumes, and parties, but while everyone else is out having fun, Linus waits faithfully in a pumpkin patch for the arrival of the mystical Great Pumpkin, who he believes will rise and bring gifts. Charlie Brown suffers through his own misfortune, including getting a rock at every house.
I got 5 pieces of candy. I got a quarter. I got a rock.
And the story mixes humor, melancholy, and nostalgia in true Charles Schulz fashion. This is a holiday classic. All the Peanuts, the Charlie Browns are a holiday classic. The whole I got a rock running gag is probably the funniest thing. Not the funniest, but like back in the 60s, 70s when this came out, that was hilarious. Like, oh, I got a Snickers, I got a chocolate bar, I got a rock. Like, why does everybody hate Charlie Brown? It's funny, it's a classic. I look forward to watching all the Charlie Brown movies and shows during the holidays, like the Christmas one, the Thanksgiving one. Like, those are like staples. Snoopy's Red Baron dream sequence feels surreal and out of place, but iconic. Snoopy is a great character. He is so iconic till this day. I mean, they have like Apple Watch faces for him. They have Apple TV screensavers. This is one of the screensavers on our TV at our house. He's an iconic character. It's less about the scares though. It isn't really scary at all, and more about capturing the feeling of Halloween traditions as a kid and what that feels like. If I had to rate this one, it is an A. It might be a S tier because of how iconic it is, but I'm just gonna keep it an A for now. So now let's talk about and rank another one of my favorites, Beetlejuice. After a young married couple, Barbara and Adam, die in a car accident, they find themselves stuck haunting the former home. When a quirky new family moves in and begins renovating, the couple tries to scare them away with very little success. Desperate, they summon Beetlejuice, a mischievous bio-exorcist whose chaotic antics spiral out of control all the time. Meanwhile, the couple bonds with the goth daughter Lydia, who is the only one who can truly see them. Fun fact, I saw Beetlejuice on Broadway in New York. Highly recommend. Original cast. It was a great show. It was one of my first Broadway shows ever, actually. It was really great. Great performance. The Deo dinner party scene is an obsession. Everyone loves that scene. Michael Keaton's manic performance is unforgettable, even though Beetlejuice, the titular character, is in the movie for less than 20 minutes, which I do think is appropriate because it kind of leaves you wanting more from the character. It doesn't drown you with too much Beetlejuice, because when he is on screen, he is quite a lot. He is a lot of a character. So not seeing him so much works and makes the scarcity worth it. They balance the comedy and the gothic horror better than almost any other film. It could give people nightmares as a kid and it could give people nightmares as an adult. It is truly a gory, slightly scary, and creepy movie. It is easily A tier, but I'm gonna go ahead and push it up to S tier. I have to do it. Beetlejuice is a S tier Halloween movie. It has to go up there easily, no problem. All right, let's rank Hocus Pocus. So in Salem, 3 17th century witches, the Sanderson sisters, are accidentally resurrected on Halloween night when teenager Max lights the black flame candle. Along with his sister Danny, crush Allison, and a cursed talking cat named Binks, Max must stop the witches from sucking the lives out of children to stay young forever. Chaos ensues as the sisters bumble through the modern world while scheming to regain their powers. So the movie has that whole "I put a spell on you" scene, which is probably the movie's high point. The sisters' mix of menace and slapstick comedy makes them an unforgettable mix of the story. I think another way to gauge how iconic a movie is if, well, first, if a movie gets a sequel like 1 to 2 to 3 years after the first movie came out, they're trying to make more money, they're trying to cash grab it. If the movie comes out and then it gets a sequel slash if it's been like 20 years, it's a reboot. But if it gets a sequel 20 years later, it is that original movie was a classic. So like Freaky Friday and then Freakier Friday. Freaky Friday is a classic. Beetlejuice and then Beetlejuice, which came out I think last year. Beetlejuice is a classic. Hocus Pocus got its sequel, I think recently, maybe a year or two ago, which was like 20 years in between the original. That makes Hocus Pocus a classic, but it is not as good of a Halloween movie to me personally, but I recognize that people like it. And it became a Disney cult hit thanks to the Disney Channel reruns, despite it actually flopping at release. I'm gonna put this at B tier. I recognize that people like this one. However, it is not my cup of tea. It is a classic Hocus Pocus. I think the characters are a classic as well. So that's where I'm gonna stand, B tier. Dude, this suit is hot. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's rank The Haunted Mansion. Jim Evers of Ever and Evers Real Estate is a real... He says that a lot in the movie. Jim Evers is a real estate agent and takes his family on what's supposed to be a quick stop at a mansion that I think he's supposed to be selling, only to discover that it is haunted, caught in the middle of a ghostly curse involving love, betrayal, and murder. The family must uncover the truth while being pursued by restless spirits. So Jim has to put aside his obsession with work and focus on saving his wife and children. This movie is fresh in my brain because I saw a couple like yesterday. The production design nails the eerie atmosphere of the ride that this movie is based off of. The movie looks great. Like even watching it today, like it looks really good. It's a bit slow in the beginning, but I do understand we have to set up these characters, set up their intentions, and set up who they are. And once again, Eddie Murphy is in the movie. People were definitely there to watch Eddie Murphy be Eddie Murphy, if that makes sense. Like it was an Eddie Murphy movie with like a little bit of ghost, a little bit of creepy. The butler had a creepy vibe, and the reveal that he was actually a ghost is obvious, but still fun. Once again, Eddie Murphy makes this movie the movie that it is. The movie also isn't scary. Is it a good movie though? Is it iconic? Once again, it got a reboot, but it's also Disney. Disney loves to reboot their movies. I'm gonna have to put this in C tier. I feel like adding Eddie Murphy was just a cash grab for this movie, and they knew it would be successful because of that. But production wise, like the castle or the mansion that they lived in, the VFX, it looks good, it looks great. But the movie, something about it just doesn't hit home for me. It doesn't connect for me. I leave the movie wanting more, so I have to give it C tier. So now we're ranking The Little Vampire. Tony, a lonely American boy who moves to Scotland, befriends Rudolph, a young vampire. When Tony learns that Rudolph's family is being haunted by ruthless vampire slayer, he joins forces with his new friend to protect them. Their unlikely friendship helps both the boys find courage and belonging. So this is probably one of the earliest or first like true Halloween movies that I saw. I had this movie on DVD, watched it all the time. Starring Jonathan Lipnicki, the iconic kid of the late 90s and 2000s, the kid from Stuart Little. It mixes humor with like a heartwarming theme of friendship and acceptance, which I think is really cool. Like he doesn't care he's a vampire, he just wants friends, and that's pretty cool. It's kind of a hidden gem movie. I don't think many people know about it, and it's not really a hit, but I think it's decent. It's not too scary. As a kid, like Once again, I watched it multiple times, so I must have not been scared of it. It's a very Halloween movie. Vampires automatically is the most Halloween thing ever. Where would I rank this movie if I'm being honest? It is a C tier movie. Nothing crazy, nothing. I almost want to put it in D tier. But it is a C tier movie. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, now let's rank a movie that a lot of you probably love. Scooby-Doo. Mystery Inc. splits up after personal tensions, but 2 years later, they're all invited to investigate Spooky Island, a strange tropical resort. And what starts as typical Scooby-Doo mass villain mystery quickly turns darker as the monsters turn out to be real. The gang has to put aside their differences, survive creepy rituals, and save the world from supernatural dangers. First of all, I thought casting was great. Matthew Lillard as Shaggy is a fan favorite spot on casting. He was so good at casting that I cannot imagine anyone else as Shaggy. In fact, I thought he was Shaggy. Like, I thought the voice was really well. I thought the character was based off him and like that was the real guy. Side note, why was it called Scooby-Doo? Like, that's just the dog. It's really about everybody, not just the dog, right? The twist that the monsters are actually real adds a unique spin to the franchise. The humor is unexpectedly edgy thanks to, of course, James Gunn's script, the amazing James Gunn. The CGI is very dated now, but it adds to the charm of the movie. But if you were watching it when it came out, like, this movie was great, and it still is great. It still is a great movie. So, what do I rate Scooby-Doo? I have to do it. Scooby-Doo is S tier. Easily, Scooby-Doo is S tier. It is iconic. It is a great use of IP. It is a good story. It is S tier. Point blank, period. Okay, I only got a few left, so let's talk about Edward Scissorhands. Edward is an unfinished creation of an inventor. He lives alone in a gothic mansion until a kind Avon lady brings him home to her suburban neighborhood. And at first, Edward is beloved for his hedge trimming abilities and hairstyling talents. All the women who stay home just love going to him, but his differences soon make him an outcast. He falls in love with Kim, the daughter of the family that took him in, but their romance is doomed by fear, prejudice, and tragedy. This is a very unique story. On the surface, if you've never watched the movie, it is the silliest thing ever. What do you mean he has scissors for hands? What is that? What is that even? What? This must be a comedy. No, this movie is not a comedy. It's starring Johnny Depp and it is a spooky movie, but not like scary. It's just it's got a gothic and like spooky vibe. The pastel suburbia versus Edward's gothic appearance is like a brilliant contrast. The ice sculpture snow scene is one of Tim Burton's most beautiful moments. The themes of isolation, conformity, and acceptance make it feel like a fairy tale. Johnny Depp's performance is quiet but like deeply emotional. This is a very good movie. It is a classic. It is old and it still holds up. The name is silly, but like it is a good movie, and it also is S tier. Easily. I think everyone will probably agree to that. If you don't agree, you probably just had nightmares about the movie, but there was nothing to have nightmares about. It's not like he's a mean guy or anything. It's just he has scissors for hands. I don't know what else to tell you. But this next one definitely gave a few of you nightmares. We're going to be ranking Coraline. So Coraline Jones is a neglected young girl who moves into an old house and discovers a hidden door that leads to an alternate world that closely mirrors her own. At first, it seems perfect. Her other mother gives her attention, delicious food, and endless fun, but things turn sinister when Coraline realizes that this world is a trap and that the other mother wants to sew buttons over her eyes to try and keep her there forever. Coraline must use her wits to escape and rescue her family so she can get back to her old life. This movie is such an original and creepy story. This movie also being in stop motion makes it a little bit creepier. Some people Long story short, my camera stopped recording on that last section and I didn't realize till the next day when I went to check the footage. So I'm having to re-record this section. Luckily, I only have one more movie left, but I'm gonna finish wrapping up Coraline. It's such an original and creepy story, and it's such an original plot. I really love that, and it being in stop motion already adds a little bit more to the eerie and creepy factor. I mean, it's like pure nightmare fuel. The contrast between going to a new world and realizing that it's maybe not so perfect and where you are is where you belong. I really love that storyline. The whole mother storyline itself is creepy. Sewing buttons onto your eyes is creepy. It gave many kids nightmares, and it probably gives many adults nightmares. Also, as a 91 on Rotten Tomatoes, and that says a lot. So Coraline, it is an original story. It is a great story, but I'm gonna keep it in A tier for now. That feels perfectly fine, perfectly adequate. And last but not least, we've got Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. Two siblings, Adam and Chelsea, set up their mom on a date with a charming man named Dimitri, only to realize that he's actually a vampire planning to make her his eternal bride. The kids team up with their little brother and a vampire hunter to try and save their mom before he takes her away and does whatever vampires do with mothers. Charles O'Shaughnessy, aka Mr. Sheffield from The Nanny, plays Dimitri with just the right amount of like suave and cheese, and it may have to do with him having a British accent that just does all the heavy lifting. He plays the character really well, and the movie leans more into the funny than scary, but the ending, that like last third act where they're inside of the house and running away from him and basically fighting him, does get a little bit scary and a little tense at the same time. It does embody that cozy, low budget decom vibe of the early 2000s, and is a great example of Disney's kid-friendly take on vampire lore. Other than that, the movie is not scary. I feel like most people have forgotten about the movie as well. I didn't know this movie actually existed until I rewatched the movie maybe a couple months ago. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give this movie a D tier on my list. Unfortunately, if you disagree and there are big My Mom Has a Date with a Vampire fans, please let me know. So there it is. Those are my final rankings for Halloween movies. Some classics, some hidden gems, and a couple that probably gave us all nightmares as kids. But hey, that's what Halloween's all about, right? Candy and spooky stuff and cool costumes, of course. And before you say it, yes, I know I didn't put Ghostbusters and many others like the Corpse Bride, is that what it's called? Because I have to save some movies for next year. Think ahead. So what's your go-to spooky movie or favorite Halloween TV show? Drop it down in the comments. Maybe I'll check it out. But I also want to know, what are you all watching this season? And if you enjoyed hanging out with me and reliving the Halloween vibes, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you like here, feel free to subscribe. Until then, I gotta go save the city, and I'll catch you all in the next one.